Don't be stupid! Don't be stupid! Let her go! Let her go! Come on!
It might have been stupidity or drunkenness, or maybe both. But before I knew it, I was back taking insane risks, trying to save fallen women.
Max Payne is back and picks up 8 years after the events of the last game. What players will come to find is an even more jaded and tormented anti-hero, self-medicating himself with booze and pills, hungry to escape his past. In an effort to do so, Max has accompanied gun-for-hire Raul Passos all the way from New Jersey to Sao Paulo, Brazil, as part of a security detail protecting the wealthy Branco family.
I was mostly working for Rodrigo Branco, a local businessman. Built things, did some charity, had things named after him, won awards, owned things, people.
A large chunk of the initial story will see players thrust into impossibly outgunned situations as they battle to protect members of the Branco family time and time again, before the detective in Max begins to uncover a conspiracy that goes all the way up the Brazilian food chain. Several times, players will be taken into the past through flashbacks, sometimes to aid Max in his current mission, and sometimes to add a change of pace to the chaotic Brazilian environment, and add a little pathos to the story as Max continues to struggle with the loss of his family. Rockstar Games has taken over development of this series from Remedy Entertainment, and the merging of the two worlds shows. Bullet time is back and slicker than ever. It'll save your life on more occasions than any one man would hope his life would need to be saved, and if all else should fail, nothing beats leaping gun first into a room with bullet dodge and hoping you've got the aiming to back it up. Experimenting with bullet dodge is likely the most fun you'll have playing the game, but it can become a nuisance when even the slightest of bumps from any object can send you hurtling back into real time, on the floor, and exposed. However, it's Rockstar's personal stamp on the narrative that will either engross you to the, pardon the pun, max, or distance you from the game altogether. Players looking for mindless action sequence after action sequence probably shouldn't be playing Max Payne in the first place, but players hoping to take control of their beloved character for any lengthy period will feel sidelined by the at times overbearing use of cutscenes. Let's make this point clear. From Red Dead Redemption to their overseeing and distribution of L.A. Noire, it's clear Rockstar is interested in pushing the boundaries of storytelling in the video game medium by taking control away from the player to advance the plot using scripted scene work. That's commendable. But while there is much to commend about the story of Max Payne 3, in particular the personal struggle of one man coping with insurmountable grief, there is also much to be condemned. Max Payne 3 lacks flow, and considering the amount of time players will be watching instead of playing, it derails an otherwise engrossing atmosphere. Too many times will seemingly nothing at all provoke Max to ponder the philosophical nature of his predicament, violence, and corruption. The vastly complicated character of Max is oftentimes relegated to fortune cookie one-liners and bad quips about his alcoholism. Sometimes you think you're watching the opening of a CSI Miami.
Valeu, mano. Bem-vindo à favela Nova Esperança.
All things considered, I was gonna have to look on this as a good outcome.
Rockstar should have had more faith in its ability to create a world to their satisfaction with half the amount of dialogue. Not to mention the bad lens flares and motion blur effects used needlessly throughout the game in some misguided attempt to mirror the success of J.J. Abrams. Maybe? All in all, despite its narrative drawbacks, Max Payne 3 will keep you entertained, and for many, enthralled over the course of its roughly 10 hours of gameplay. Replayability is marred by the game engine's inability to skip cutscenes or even access the main menu during cutscenes, but arcade modes like Score Attack and New York Minute may vary the gameplay enough to keep players coming back as they pit their scores against a global leaderboard. Sadly, on PC, those leaderboards are hacked. There's also an allure to scour each level in search of gold gun components. However, that experience is also made annoying by the fact that if you stop for even a moment, Max will babble on and on about moving forward. Max Payne 3 is also the first in the series to add a highly customizable multiplayer component, which is actually quite enjoyable and ensures the longevity of the game. It's not the smoothest of multiplayer experiences, but it is unique, and after you've pulled off your first bullet dodge kill on an opponent, you may be hooked. Graphical options are plentiful, and it's well optimized for the PC. Max Payne 3 down 7 out of 10 bottles of Jack. The game won't change your life, but it's a fun ride.